all of our Games of the Week segments will now be featured on the MLG Highlights channel on YouTube.
Shout out that, man.
So big shout out to MLG Highlights. Make sure you subscribe to him as well. Make sure you also subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/hoopsandbrews. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's hop into some rapid fire talking about 6 games from this week. The first game is Cleveland versus the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, the Cavs are coming in. They're coming off of struggling really, really bad. They're playing a Spurs team who, as you said earlier, or as you said before, Kawhi isn't there. So you don't really know exactly what it is that you're going to get from this team. Cleveland right now, in terms of their plus-minus differential, is currently only sitting at a plus 0.2. Meanwhile, the Spurs are currently sitting at a plus 3.3, and the Spurs have the second technically best defense in the NBA. Who do you think is going to win this game in terms of Cleveland versus the Spurs? Kevin, I'll let you start first since you're the Cleveland fan.
Cavs, they have to win, so I'm going to pick the Cavs to win.
Okay, what's the score and why do you think they win?
108 to 104.
Okay.
I think the Cavs. The Spurs don't have anybody to guard LeBron. I mean, I think LeBron's going to walk all over Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
I think, Tony Parker and they got Tony Parker, Patty Mills, DeJounte Murray hasn't been playing well. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to cause us some big problems. Pau Gasol, I think, is going to cause us some big problems. As old as Pau is, he's still going to. But I just think LeBron's been playing so uncharacteristically horrible the past 6 games. I don't think he does it another. I think.
I think Cleveland will win, and I don't think it'll be close.
Okay.
I think Cleveland will win by 120 to 108. Reason being, I think it won't be close is, for one, the Spurs just don't score enough points. They don't Cleveland is terrible defensively, but also the Spurs don't score enough points. And I think some of the things that they're going to be hurt down low by LaMarcus and Powell. But from the guard position, I think what hurts the Cavs is elite guards. That's why Russ went crazy. Literally, Russ saw IT, high step, and said, "Yep, I got one. We going to the rim." Tony Parker, Patty Mills, and Murray don't really scare me as much. Right. They aren't elite guards to me. Okay. Danny Green also isn't elite with, they don't really have any elite penetrators. Left really on that roster. So they don't really scare me. And also, again, Cleveland needs this game. This is a game that Cleveland needs. You got embarrassed on national television. You let a team put up 148 points in regulation on you. And it's not even like it was if it was the Rockets, you know what? It might happen. Maybe they got hot for 3. If it was the Warriors, fine. You let the Thunder put up 148 points in 48 minutes. You have to come out. You have to play good. I think Cleveland will win, and I don't think it'll be close. Again, 120 to 108.
Okay, personally, I think that the Spurs are going to win. I think the Spurs are going to win this game 111 to 103. I'm personally going to take the Spurs just because I think that they have a defensive rhythm that the Cavs don't necessarily encounter, and the Cavs have a tough time against teams that can play good defense. Number one, because they can limit their offense, as Oklahoma City did yesterday in that game. Yes, people were off, but the Oklahoma City Thunder also played good defense in that game. You got guys like Steven Adams going out and grabbing tough rebounds against Tristan Thompson and Gerald Green. They had no one on the interior who could hang with Steven Adams. So I think for the Cavs, yes, this is a very important game. But I also said at the beginning of the year that I don't think that I'm not a believer in the Cavs. I'm not a believer in the Cavs to get to the finals. I say that LeBron James will never make another finals again. I'm still sticking with that. I still think that this team is going to continue to slide. As I said, on another segment, I think that Kemba Walker and Nicholas Batum would make great Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think that although they might not necessarily help them to solve their rebounding problems, you then get rid of a guy like Jay Crowder from your starting lineup. You can bring Double T back in. You then get another guy that can stretch the floor, Nicholas Batum, who's also 6'8". You get a guy like Kemba Walker, who's 6'3" and not 5'9", 5'10". Whatever. He's taller. He's taller than Isaiah Thomas.
Maybe by 2 inches.
He's taller than
Kimba's like 5'11".
He's taller than Isaiah Thomas.
Kimba's still undersized.
He's taller than Isaiah Thomas. He's taller than Isaiah Thomas. That's all that matters.
But you got D Rose.
He's taller than Isaiah Thomas. I don't want to fucking hear about Derrick Rose. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't want to hear anything about Derrick Rose. So I think the Spurs will pull this game out 111 to 103. And I think that's just kind of it is what it is, and that's from that standpoint. So all right, cool. Let's go ahead. Let's move on.